welcome to Concept Collection. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on my latest content. Could a U.S. housing market crash be on the horizon? Understandably, this is a topic that many people are interested in, especially if they plan on buying or selling a home in the near future. In this video, we'll look at some of the factors and scenarios that could soon lead to a housing market crash and analyze their likelihood and impact. I'll also give you some tips on how you can prepare yourself for those possible outcomes as either a buyer or a seller. But before we dive into the details, let's take a moment to understand why this question is so important and relevant right now. The housing market is easily one of the most influential sectors of the economy, affecting the lives, wealth, and well-being of millions of Americans. The housing market can also have a ripple effect on other industries, such as banking, retail, and services. Therefore, the performance and direction of the housing market will have significant implications for the overall economic growth, stability, and prosperity of the United States as a whole. However, the housing market is also notoriously unpredictable and complex, influenced by a multitude of factors that are often interrelated and changing over time. Some of these factors are macroeconomic, such as interest rates, inflation, income growth, unemployment, and consumer confidence, while some other factors are microeconomic, such as supply and demand, inventory, pricing, and competition. And often understated are the behavioral factors that influence the market, such as market confidence, expectations, and emotions. So, as you can now see, there are many variables and uncertainties involved in the housing market, which makes it difficult to forecast and control. However, that's not to say that we're powerless in predicting what the future holds for the housing market. By analyzing the information available, we can identify some of the potential risks and opportunities that may arise in the future and ultimately have a confident prediction of what may happen in the housing market. So, what are some of these factors and trends that we should take note of? Well, let's start with the current state of the U.S. housing market. Home prices nationwide were up 1.3% year over year in July 2023, but the number of homes sold fell 14.7%, and the number of homes for sale fell 17.8%. This indicates that the housing market is slowing down after a period of rapid growth during the pandemic, when low mortgage rates, limited inventory, and high demand boosted prices to record levels. Affordability remains a major challenge for many buyers, as mortgage rates have risen above 7% and home prices have increased by nearly 40% since 2020. As a result, only 42% of new and existing home sales are currently affordable to a typical household. This is the lowest we've seen since the Great Recession. This means that many buyers are either struggling to find a suitable home within their budget or priced out of the market altogether. This could also mean that many sellers are holding on to their homes or asking for unrealistic prices that deter potential buyers, creating somewhat of a stalemate situation where neither buyers nor sellers are willing to compromise. This, along with several other elements of the current market, actually have the potential to trigger a chain reaction that could cause the housing market to take a drastic downturn. A housing market crash can have devastating consequences for individuals, families, communities, and businesses, and can also lead to broader economic turbulence or even a recession that affects other sectors and aspects of society. For these reasons, it's important to be aware of the indicators that could signal us that a housing market crash is on the horizon. In this video, we'll discuss 3 of them. So, our first indicator is the Federal Reserve's interest rate policy. The Fed has been raising interest rates since 2022 to fight inflation, which has reached a 40-year high. Higher interest rates make borrowing more expensive, which can affect mortgage rates, home affordability, and market activity. If interest rates continue to rise, fewer buyers will be able to qualify for loans or afford their monthly payments, which, in theory, should reduce demand and put downward pressure on prices. On the other hand, if the economy weakens or enters a recession, it is possible that the Fed may have to once again cut interest rates to stimulate growth, which would lower mortgage rates and increase demand and prices within the market. In our current economy, we can be fairly confident that the Fed is more likely to keep raising interest rates than to cut them. This is because the Fed is most concerned about the high inflation rate, which erodes the value of the US dollar and hurts consumers and businesses. The Fed has also faced a great deal of political pressure to tighten its monetary policy, as many have criticized the Fed for going overboard in their efforts to stimulate the economy during the pandemic. Therefore, it's highly plausible for mortgage rates to increase by 1% or more over the next year, and as a result, making buying a home even more difficult and expensive than it already is. The second factor is the current supply and demand imbalance. The housing market has been facing a chronic shortage of homes for sale for years, which has driven up prices and created fierce competition among buyers. However, if demand falls due to higher interest rates, or if supply increases due to more listings, foreclosures, or new construction, then we could see substantial decreases in home values. Undisturbed, the supply and demand imbalance would be more likely to persist than to resolve itself in the short term. This is because the factors that contribute to the low inventory are not easy to quickly overcome. For example, building new homes takes time, money, and resources, which are not easy to come by in the current environment. Moreover, many homeowners will likely remain reluctant to sell their homes due to them having secured low fixed-rate mortgages during the pandemic. And on the other hand, the factors that contribute to the high demand for homes are also likely to remain in the near future. Of course, people will naturally still need a place to live and raise their families. Therefore, under normal circumstances, we would anticipate that the demand for homes. Welcome to Concept Collection. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on my latest content. Will remain high, and that the number of homes for sale could remain low. That is, if it were not for the third factor, which is the end of payment relief programs. Many homeowners who lost the ability to make their mortgage payments during the pandemic received payment assistance from various sources, such as forbearance programs that allowed them to pause their mortgage payments temporarily, or stimulus checks that helped them cover their expenses. However, virtually all of these programs are set to expire soon, or in many cases, have already expired, which means that many homeowners will have to resume their payments or face foreclosure. This could increase the number of foreclosures and distressed sales on the market, but could also simultaneously reduce the amount of buyers in the market. This is due to the fact that many buyers too benefited from payment assistance programs for other types of debt and expenses and will no longer have these to rely on. An estimated 1.7 million homeowners were in forbearance as of August 2023, representing about 3.2% of all mortgages. Of these, about 900,000 homeowners had not made a payment in more than a year. Therefore, the number of foreclosures and distressed sales can be anticipated to increase significantly in 2024, which could flood the market with homes and simultaneously decrease the value of all properties on the market, indicating a crash. So, what's the bottom line? Will the housing market crash in 2024? The answer is, it's very possible. Based on current trends and projections, there are multiple indicators that the housing market will experience a crash, or at least a severe correction in 2024. The supply and demand imbalance will likely remain, but shift in favor of buyers as more homes become available and fewer buyers compete for them. Of course, these are just opinions and speculation, and they're subject to change as new information and events unfold. The housing market is quite complex and dynamic, and there are always uncertainties and risks involved. Always be sure to do your own research, consult with professionals, and make informed decisions based on your own goals and circumstances. Whether you're a buyer or a seller, be flexible about your expectations. The housing market can change quickly and unpredictably, so you should be prepared to adapt to different situations and outcomes. Be aware of the costs and risks involved with buying and selling a home, such as closing fees, taxes, commissions, repairs, inspections, appraisals, and so on. And always have a backup plan in place for whenever things don't go your way. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new about what we can expect in the housing market in 2024. What are your thoughts on the future of the housing market? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Thanks for watching.